Past fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, Izuku Midoriya in the last part, he had Apocalypse literally walk through their front door and talk about how he has come to help them. He wants to help increase the mutant population, give former mutants his blood, and see if they regain their abilities. Now, this can be a hit or a miss with how it could work. The X-Men have no clue. Now, right now they are currently talking with Apocalypse and trying to understand what to do next. As Midoriya, he did set off to find another one of these Infinity Gems, or stones. Now, with that being said, his search did lead him to the former island of Genosha, which was surrounded by a red field. Now, Midoriya did get close to inspect it before he did get pulled in. And he did discover that Genosha, it's back. The dome, it doesn't exist inside, and the town, it's normal. Midoriya's body physically reverted back to the age of a 12-year-old boy. Kitty is alive, Nightcrawler's alive. The 16 million mutants who are dead are alive in this town. And it did creep out Midoriya. He's seeing younger versions of everybody he knows, and younger versions of everybody who's dead. Now, Midoriya did seek out the other stone, as he did find the Scarlet Witch. Now, Midoriya, he's talking with Wanda, and he wants to know what happened. Do you know where the stone is? Stone? No, not really. Then again, do you, know where the witch is? The witch? Yeah, I'm trying to find her, but I don't know where she went. It's strange. I could have swore she was here a minute ago. My head's getting weird. Okay, that's very strange. But I'm confused. You don't know where Midoriya reaching into his pocket, pulling out the Mind Stone and holding it up, saying it's a stone kind of like this one. But he thinks hers is red? That stone. I think the witch had one. Okay, then maybe we can find her. Now, Midoriya and Scarlet, or what is it, Wanda, I believe her actual name is, she does try to find the witch with Midoriya, and the two do search the entire house. Now, Midoriya is confused by all of this. However, he is also wondering about everything. Now, Midoriya, he does begin to search the entire island, along with Scarlet as she's flying around. Now, Midoriya does ask her how it's possible for her to do that, to which she would just talk about how the witch gave her the abilities to, and that it's very fun. Now, Midoriya, he goes around everywhere. He finds places and people he does remember. And he does even remember a particular day as he does watch a scene on the beach play out. Now, it does unnerve him. Everything about this place, it's different. And he's wondering about it. This used to be home. Now, Midoriya does go flying up into the air. And he does think that for right now, he needs to get out of here. Go get the other X-Men and maybe I can, well, figure this all out. Midoriya does go flying forwards. As he does go beyond the beach. And he does fly away from the island. Now, Midoriya, he does expect something to happen whenever he does turn around. He expects to turn around and see the red sphere. However, he turns around and it's not there. And Midoriya just gets further and further away, along with actually trying to fly up into space. The further away he gets from Genosha, the red sphere doesn't appear. Now, Midoriya would even head to the very moon, where he currently is standing on the surface of it. And he doesn't see the red sphere. This makes no sense. Now, Midoriya would just rocket back onto the Earth and go to look around. Now, Midoriya, he does eventually find Wanda, as she's currently sitting down in a park. And Midoriya would ask her about what happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Red sphere? You might have to ask the witch. Maybe whenever she does show up. Okay, and you know where she'd be? No. Now, she does offer Midoriya a piece of food or a piece of candy. And Midoriya, he would accept it. Him going to look down at it and look at the molecules that do make this up. It's definitely real. Cool. Now, Midoriya would return to Scarlet, or Wanda. I don't know why they call her the Scarlet Witch. Now, Midoriya, he would just ask her if he can use his powers. And look inside her head. No, please don't do that. Really? Why? Listen, maybe if I look inside your head, I can find out where this all is. Now, Midoriya would go to bring up his hand, as he does turn and look at Scarlet, or Wanda. And he does ask her if she could just let him do that. Maybe then he can help her find the witch, if he does know where she was last seen. Now, Midoriya does actually watch as the sky does turn pitch black. And he does go looking up at that before turning back to Wanda. And he would look at her. She does look pretty mad. And this is actually whenever Midoriya, he does go to reach out his hand to put it on her shoulder, telling her that he's sorry. The moment his hand actually does go to touch Wanda's shoulder, somebody does go to grab his wrist. And Midoriya would turn and see who it was. As directly in between him and Wanda, behind him stands the adult Scarlet Witch. Her hair is messy, and she is crying. As Midoriya, he would look at her, and he does just say Scarlet, or Wanda, her real name. Now, the moment this does happen, she does go to punch him, and blast him with the power of the Reality Stone. Now, she does start to affect everything all around, and reconstruct what she's doing. She changes Genosha, and she does then take the child version of herself and disappear. Midoriya confused, as he would look up to see his dad. Hello, Izuku. Listen, it's time for you to come home. It's getting very late. Dad? No, this is another illusion. You're not real. Now, Midoriya does just try to shake it off, as Yui does then appear, and bring her hand onto Midoriya's shoulder, trying to inform him that she does want to go out and play with her big brother, and that she's scared to go out alone. Now, Midoriya would turn to see her, as he doesn't look up and see his mother standing by his father. Now, Midoriya, his mind does waver, and he does think it's all real for a minute, before just letting out a large no, and letting his power explode around him. The illusion of Yui goes flying backwards as it does disappear in the red mist. And the, Hasashi and Inko illusions do also disappear. As Midoriya, he does just stand there in the park. And he does watch as the illusion does somewhat fade out around him. The fresh green grass underneath his feet, and that he does have his hands on. He feels it turn to straight dust, and he does get to hold it up into his hands, looking at it before it does turn back into soil and grass, before changing once again. Now, Midoriya, he does try to head anywhere he can think of, and try to find this young version of Scarlet. Now, Midoriya would see the way the world has changed around them. There are certain buildings that are intersecting into one another, and there's even new ones. As Midoriya, he would land, and go to look about what's playing at a movie theater, as he does go to walk in. As it does just talk about The Witch, Chapter 1. Now, Midoriya would walk in, and you do actually have a younger version of Scarlet. Midoriya looking down and seeing her, as she looks to be around the age of 6 years old, and she's sitting there in the movie theater, and going to watch the chapter of The Witch. Now, Midoriya, he would look at this, as you do have the witch's birth. Her and her brother were born to the same mother, and their mother died at a very young age. It was not easy. However, one day their father did disappear, and he left them alone with somebody. They were both scared. Their father talked about how they weren't right. They weren't what he was. Now, Scarlet does remember that day, as you do see the young girl who's currently sitting in the corner of a room, and she's talking with her brother through the wall. Now, somebody just slide a tray underneath the door, as she has go to run over and eat the food. And talking about how this is her only meal of the day. And then there is the experiments and the test. Now, Midoriya does watch it all play out, as it does end around the age where Scarlet was 8 years old, and she was able to finally get a grasp on her powers. Now, Midoriya, he would go to look back at Scarlet, as she's aged 2 years. Midoriya actually walking over and asking her if she does know what this is. Sort of. It's a movie I've heard about. I heard it's very scary. I hate to be the person who had to live that life. I see. So, what else do you know? Oh, not very many. Or not very much. In fact, I think the next movie theater over there is playing too. Now, Midoriya would walk out of the movie theater. As he does get out of this room, he does go to turn his head, as the world has changed around him. He's in a hospital, and he does go to walk down the hall, as he does peer into the room that does have glass. And you do see Scarlet, who she's currently restrained in a straitjacket at the age of 10 years old. And she is talking about the demons and a witch. Now, the doctors are classifying her as criminally insane and highly dangerous. Now, Midoriya would walk up, and he would inspect some of the pictures and drawings that Scarlet has made, as she does just sit there in the room, and somebody does get to bring their hand up on her shoulder. Midoriya actually turning and looking up to see the adult Scarlet. Wanda? What are you doing here? Oh, I don't know. I just followed. I see. So, what do you think about what you've seen? It's terrible, isn't it? It's bad, yeah. I know how you feel. No, you don't. I can show you more. The therapy, the way they tried to get me to say I'm not insane, me joining the Brotherhood, my missions, being brainwashed by my own father, and having my sister die, along with my brother, my husband, and having my kids taken away from me. They did exist. They weren't fake. I remember them. I would do anything for them. I sort of understand. Now, Midoriya would turn around, as Wanda does watch as Midoriya he's a full-grown man. And she just stares at him kind of confused. What? How did you? Midoriya turned to look at her, as he does hold up the Mind Stone. And he does then go to reach out and grab her hand. Now, with that, the two do then appear at an apartment building right outside, where it is raining heavily that night. And Scarlet, she is confused, asking about all of this. As Midoriya, he would just point upwards at a building, and Scarlet would watch as a floor or a, room would explode. And she does watch the aftermath. The young boy was taken into police custody, and it was reported that he was a mutant, as his father was pronounced dead on the scene, and he was immediately taken away. Now, there was then his younger sister, who at the time, she would have been, 2 years old. Now, she would then watch more and more of Midoriya's life, the way it does unfold, and she does see it, as Scarlet does show her own memories, and talk about how the world isn't beautiful for a mutant. It's like hell on earth. Now, Midoriya would inform her that he's aware, and that he's come here to make Earth paradise for mutants. Huh? How would you do that? Easy. I need that stone you do have. Now, Wanda would just go to hold it up, and talk about how she can't give it to Midoriya. She has her children here. And this place, it's messy, but she can fix it. I can bring them all back, you know. I get it, Wanda. I really do. I was happy to see my father again, but he's dead as well. Listen to me. I can help you. What I would say, I'm going to bring his hand onto her shoulder, telling Wanda that she doesn't have to be alone. She can come with him to the X Manor, and she can go over a lot of things with them. Magneto, her father, is there too. She can take her to him. Surely he can do just that. And then asking about her brother, to which Midway would find out that he's still dead. Scarlet was able to bring him back to life. However, he was killed by somebody. Now, Midway would learn that it was the Brotherhood of Mutants who did do this. And apparently, he did something that they didn't want him to do. Now, he ran away whenever he was told to bring in Scarlet. And he wanted to protect his younger sister. Now, Midway would see this, and he does think about how bad it was. As he does think about where Magneto was at this time. Now, Midway, he would then try to at least comfort Scarlet. And eventually the two, they do come to a deal. Midoriya will give her a gift if she gives him the or gives him the Reality Stone. Now, Scarlet, she actually would thank Midoriya. As Midoriya, he does go to bring up his hand and take the red stone that is floating in the air. As reality begins to fall around them. And Scarlet, she just close her eyes. Now, as this does happen, Midoriya, he himself, does actually feel his heart tear at the reality he just had to take away. Now, Scarlet would look at Midoriya. As Midoriya, he would bring up his hands and put them to both sides of her head, informing her that he's going to at least keep some of the bad. Please just take away most of it. I don't want too much. I don't want to. Midoriya then clearing parts of her mind. As Scarlet, after Midoriya does pull his hands away, she does look around confused. Huh? Where am I? Hey. Are you okay? You had another episode. Who are you? What are we doing here? Listen, there's a lot to explain. Your name, do you remember it? Wanda? Yes. Okay. My name's Izuku. I'm your friend, okay? Listen. You kinda went crazy with your power. I had to stop you. Now we have to go home, okay? Home? My father. Yes, your father. Do you remember him? Yeah, I do. Okay, good. That makes this easier. He's where we're going, okay? Now, Midoriya, he would actually grab Scarlet, as he does go to float up into the air. This catching her off guard, as Midoriya would fly back to the X Mansion. Now, Midoriya, he would arrive, and whenever he does land, everyone does stare at him. Some people came running outside, and others were already out there, as they do want to know where Midoriya has been. Now, Midoriya would set down Scarlet, as he does tell them all that he's been kind of preoccupied. Yeah, it's been a strange couple of hours. Hours? Midoriya, you've been gone for days. What? Yeah, like 5, 6? Dude, you've been away for a long time. That can't be right. Now, Midoriya does just think, the reality stone. That's right. Okay. So whenever she changed the reality, she changed the way we perceive time. Now, Midoriya, he would actually watch as Scarlet does follow him as he does walk into the mansion. Before he does go to walk into a room where Magneto, he does just sit there. As Midoriya would ask him if he does have a minute. Now, Magneto, he would say yes. Now, Midoriya, he would leave Scarlet outside. As Midoriya, he does sit him down and tell him what he's done. Midoriya was searching for a powerful weapon. In the process, he found Magneto's daughter. She was losing her mind, and she didn't like her memories. So Midoriya, he did something that she wanted. He took away a lot of them. And he made sure that he buried what he could. She's only able to remember him, her powers, and some of the X-Men, along with her own name. Now, Magneto does ask how this is possible. To which Midoriya, he would explain. Magneto, he's lost his memories before. This is kind of the same scenario. She does remember who he is, along with her mother and her brother. She does know that he's, well, passed. So it's sort of complicated there. She didn't want to pull that memory away. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he would go to stand up and go to walk out of the door. As Wanda, she does actually look at Midoriya as she does walk in. Her saying bye to her friend. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night.